A simple portfolio landing page is extremely easy to create using the React framework and especially React Router for quick navigation. Hi, my name is Norbert BM, and in this React tutorial we are going to build together a simple portfolio landing page using React Router, React useState hook, and also create a responsive navigation which, with the help of React Router's links, will let us navigate through the different routes of this React application and also output them in the outlet. Also, this will be completely responsive. It will have also a responsive navigation, and we'll see when we navigate through the navigation tags, it will just jump through in the background. Actually, you can also close it. We'll use useState here in order to achieve this, and we can navigate to each page or each route using our navigation. Okay, so hope you're excited for this video, so let's get started. But before we get started with our tutorial, if you wish to support the channel, then please give this video a like and leave a comment in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get started. So I just created the empty folder. You could give it whatever name you wish. You could actually give it the name of portfolio landing page. Okay, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code for the project. I'm always using Visual Studio Code if you're following my YouTube channel. And within here, we're going to open up a terminal. We're going to use npx create React app in order to create our React app application. So create React-app, and I'm going to hit space and dot because I'm going to install it within my folder that I just created. Now, until this is installing, I'm going to just take you through the steps that we're going to take here in order to create this application. So we're going to use, as I said, React Routers. We also need to install that after we're done with our React installation. Now, for the styling of this page, if this looks familiar, it is a previous project, but it has much changes to it. We didn't have our routes here, our separate pages. We didn't have our sign up and login. Didn't have this icon right here, and so on and so on. Also, the entire style for this, the entire CSS is down in the description below, and also the entire code is down in the description below. So if you get lost or mess something up, then you can check out the code down there. But please copy the CSS because we need to copy and paste it within here after this is installed. And I was between using React icons and Font Awesome. I just used Font Awesome out of commodity. Actually, didn't want to install another dependency. You could have used React icons if you wish. Of course, you can use them. But yeah, with this being said, see, the application is almost done. Also, I'm going to clean this up completely just in a couple of seconds, and then we're going to install our React Router DOM, because from there we're going to create our routes and also create our navigation links. Okay, so this is done. So I'm just going to quickly delete the app test, the app CSS. So the app test, the app CSS, not the index, the logo SVG, the report, and the test setup. So we're going to delete this. Also, let's clean this one up so we don't have app CSS. Also, I'm going to delete everything that's in this div. I'm going to change this class name to a container within our index CSS. I'm going to copy now in our styling. I'm going to just delete everything, paste this in. You see, just the basic styling for our application. Then in the index, we need to delete this. We don't need this, and we also delete this. Let's see, what am I missing? I just deleted too much. Okay, index, app, React DOM, that's good. Let's also go to public, and within our index file, index.html file, let's copy in the Font Awesome link, which is actually the CDN. You can find it, either you go to Font Awesome or just type into Google Font Awesome CDN. And basically, this is the link that you need. Also, the code is down in the description below. This link is also down in the description below. So please just go ahead, check it out, and copy and paste it in. Okay, we have almost everything set up. All we need to do now is install React Router DOM. And for this, we're going to install npm install, or just type in I and React Router. And don't forget to also type in DOM. Now, this will automatically install the version 6. The version 6 is the newest version. If you're not familiar with it, I have a crash course on complete React Router, but especially on React Router 6, which is a bit different. Okay, so let's take a look in our dependency. It should be here. Drag router down. There we go. Actually get started with it. So let me close up the package.json. The index file, we don't need this. The app CSS, the index CSS, we also don't need this. And let's actually get started by creating in our app our very first thing, which is going to be a h1. And oh yeah, I have to always set my type to JavaScript. So I'm not going to use TypeScript, I'm just going to use JavaScript here. So h1 and hello. Now we can npm start. So let's start our application. Let's see what we have here. So this should start our application at port 3000. I already have the other one running. So this is going to start at, what just happened? Yeah, here's our new application. So this is what you should see, because the entire styling, as I said, is already done. So let's go back. And the very first thing that we're going to do is the navigation. So this part right here. Now the navigation is going to be a component. In order to create that component, we're going to create, not in public, but in source, a new folder called components. And within here, we're going to create a new file called navigation.js. Okay. And for me, I'm just going to type in RCF. This is going to give me a import export React default function. For the navigation, we're going to replace this div with a nav tag. I'm also going to give this a class of nav, and you will see in the CSS, this will give it a basic styling. And because we already have this now, we can now import it. So let's move on to app.js. And instead of this hello, we're going to import our navigation. This should also be React navigation from, so go up here and import navigation from our components. Okay, and this could also be a self-closing tag, so we could just delete this, and there we go. And we should basically see, because we have nothing in there, let's type something in here. Let's say nav. Okay, we should now see our navigation. There we go. So our navigation component is imported, so we can get started and actually create our navigation within here. So let me move this down. And we're going to start out with the icon, which is this with the logo. First, I'm going to use an anchor tag. Now I had this set up to just go to my website. So I'm just going to copy this in. You could basically set it up to just go to star, which will refresh the page. And within here, I'm going to type in Manhart and media. Now between Manhart and media, I'm going to now import the logo. Obviously, this is again down in the description below. So I'm just going to copy this in. It's a new folder. Within this folder, we have, it's called a image, and within here, we're going to have our logo. It's an MPG file. Obviously, you can import whatever logo you wish. I'm going to import my logo. So import, and I'm going to import logo from, and I'm going to go 2 levels up, then image folder, and within our image folder, we had our Manhart and media logo.png file. So as I said, between Manhart and between media, I'm going to import it now. We're going to insert it now by using a image tag. So image, and this is going to have as the source, we're going to actually use the variable within here, so logo. Now this also has a CSS class. Let me also give it the alternative name. If it doesn't appear, so class name and logo is just going to have a bit of a styling. And if you check it now out, I made a boo-boo. Component navigation, image logo. So let's see what I did wrong here. And copy relative path. This should also work. And now this does not work, strangely. But if I go 1 level, 2 levels up, then this should work. Ah, there we go. Now it's working. Don't know why it didn't work first time. Image / logo. Maybe I forgot the /. In any case, we are done with our icon and with our logo. Now underneath of this, we can now create the unordered list, and I'm going to give this a class name of nav links. So nav-links, and within our unordered list, I'm going to create now. Let's create a couple of link tags. I think I had 4. Let me just take a look. So we had here 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 2 are buttons. So let's go back, LIs, and times 4. This should give me 4 link tags. And as I said, down here we're going to have buttons. So button, and I have a basic styling for our button. So if you type in class and btn, this should automatically give you the style for the button. So the first one is going to be sign up, and the next button is go. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Copy and paste this, and the next button is going to be login. Okay, so this should work. Okay, we have here our buttons, and we are missing our home page, our services, our about page, and our contact page. Okay, so let's check this out. Yep, we have everything. Now, this should already be responsive. So if I leave a specific, I believe 1440 viewport width, then the navigation is going to disappear. Now, right here in the right corner, a hamburger menu should appear, as we have here. And if we click it, then the navigation should appear again. It also should have this dark background, transparent dark background, and a X should appear, or a times button should appear here, which we can then close our navigation. Okay, so let's take care of this. These are actually only Font Awesome logos, but in order to make them active, we're going to use a hook from React, which is useState. So first things first, right after our buttons, I'm going to create an anchor tag, a icon tag, sorry about that. It's going to have the class of FAS and then FAM bars for the first one. And the second icon is going to have again the class of FAS because it is from Font Awesome. But instead of FA bars, we're going to have FA times. Okay, now if I go here, it makes it smaller again. Hey, where are you? Why aren't you appearing? But I do believe they are there. They're just hidden. So let me just right click inspect, and they should be in here. Let me search for them. So navigation, I shouldn't see you. In the UL list, and that's strange. They are there, but they aren't appearing. So let me verify the link again. Go to public index.html, but I forgot to hit save here. I also move this to the right side so we can see this more easily. Let me try something else. So from our navigation, just going to copy both of them and paste them directly into our nav app. So okay, they're there. So this means this is working. Let's go back in our navigation. And as you can see, our navigation disappears after a certain width of the web page. So let's make it appear again. And for this, we're going to use the useState hook from React. So we could import it up here. Let's say useState, and we're going to import this from React itself. We can use it down here. Okay, right after our export, before the return, we're going to assign it const, and we're going to this structure here open and set open. Now we're going to assign this to useState, and we're going to set this as false as default. Okay. Now let's take a look in our CSS first of all. In our index CSS, I have a class, where is it, for navigation. And this is set also for the bars, FA bars is set to close. But for the nav itself, man, I can't find the class. Amazing. Btn hover, nav, FA times, there it is. Nav links active. So when this class exists, the position should be absolute, so far and so on, so far and so on. And this is also why the icons are not appearing. So in order to assign this class to this nav links, we're going to go in here and go to the nav links class. And within here, I'm just going to say that, let's wrap this into camel case. And let's say if open, then the class of the navigation should be nav links, but also active. Else, we're going to say that the class is just nav and links. Okay, so basically, if this is closed, as you can see here, then the navigation disappears, or the nav links disappear. But if it's open, but it has the class, but without the class of active, then the navigation should disappear. Now, in order to make this appear, we need our hamburger menu or hamburger button here, icon. So let's make that one appear. And again, we're going to use the same principle down here. So I'm going to wrap this one into camel case. And if this one is open, we're going to use our useState hook again. So if this one is open, then the class will be FAS, FA bars, and also close. And else, we're going to say this FAS, FA bars, and open. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for our times button down here, for which we're going to say if it's open, then this should be FA times, and it should also have the class of open, and else it should be FAS, FA times, and close, because this is then going to close the navigation. We're not quite done with our icon tags. We also need some kind of action in order to activate our set state here, because for now it's set to false. So we can change this by adding a onClick event. So let's type in here onClick, and when we're going to click on our hamburger menu icon, then we're going to use the set open state, and we're going to set the state to true. Okay, and we're basically going to do exactly the opposite thing for our times buttons. So this is going to set it back to false. Okay, so now that we have our navigation taken care of, it's time to create our very first route. For this, I'm going to create within our source a new folder called routes. And the very first route that I'm going to create is going to be our header. So let's go within here and create a file. Let's call this header.js. Again, I'm going to create here our CF, and actually let's put this as capital letter header. Let's replace this div with header, and within here I'm just going to copy in the text. So it's going to be a h2 with hi, another h2, I'm Norbert, h4 with welcome, and a paragraph tag. Okay, now within here, now this is one route, and this should be then, also show you here, should be then, let me also show you here, should be then output here. Basically, each one of these are actually routes. So let's go ahead and let me close this one. When we're going to click on home, it should display the home route. So this route we need to import into our navigation, but not actually importing it, but hooking up with a link. So from this point on, we are going to start to use React Router. Again, if you want to have more details about how React Router works, please check out my crash course. So first things first, we're going to go back to our index.js, and within here we need to import our React Router. So let's go down here. I'm going to import the browser router as router. We're also going to import routes, then route, and all of this we're going to import from React Router DOM. It's not React DOM, but React Router DOM. And within here, we are going to import each and every route. But first, let's wrap our entire application into, we actually delete the strict mode, into our router. So basically I imported the browser router and imported as the router. I'm going to use router instead of browser router, and we're going to wrap our entire app into router. Now our router is going to have routes. So I'm going to use routes now, and I'm going to take my app and paste it in here. And right now the page is going to go blank because we need to have a couple of things. First things first, this app is no longer just the app, but it is a route. So for this I'm going to type in route, and this very first route is going to have as the path just the /. It's going to be our home. But as an element is going to have the app itself. So I'm going to take our app from here, cut it out, and paste it in here. And this should have a T at the end, element. So now if you check out our application again, then the application should work again. But for our routes now again, so each and every route, as I said, is going to be displayed down here. So it's not going to refresh the entire page or something like that, but it's going to be displayed within this app. This means I need a outlet. So let's go back to our navigation and let's import outlet. Sorry, not to the navigation, but to the, because right underneath the navigation is where outlet from React Router DOM. So we're going to import outlet from React Router DOM. We're going to take it and paste it down here. It's could be a self-closing tag. And this is where each and every route will be displayed. And that's basically it for our app right here. We can also close it. We're not going to need it anymore. Now back into our navigation. Each of these LIs should now be links. Basically, I'm going to leave the LI, but I'm going to transform the content of the LIs into links. And now we need to import links from React Route to DOM again. Now the way links work, links basically send you automatically to the route that you're going to assign them to. So if I use here a link tag, and I'm going to tell it to go to /header, okay? And basically I'm going to move this home between the link tags. Now I need to import our route into the index file because everything is going to be pushed down here. Also, I need to add it as a route which will live in the routes. So let's type in route again. But this time I'm not going to use an opening and closing tag. I'm just going to use a self-closing tag because a route is a parent route can have children as routes. And this route will have the path to a header. I also don't need a slash. And as an element, it's going to need the header element. So header. And if I do this, it's also going to import up here header. Okay. And well, this should now actually work. If we go to our application and click on home, and it didn't work. So let's see why it didn't work. So we have our path, header, which is odd. This didn't import it as an element. Sorry about that. And now it should work. Okay, there's a header. If I click here, it's going to just, well, it's going to send me to my web page. Didn't want to do that. Okay, so we have our very first route. Okay, let's create the next route, which is going to be services. Now let's go back into routes. Let's create a new file. Let's say services.js. Let's create the RC function. I'm going to start with a capital letter, and I'm going to change this div into a section. If you take a look in the CSS, all sections are kind of styled alike. And I'm also just going to copy and paste the content within here. You can change this obviously later on if you wish. Okay, we have now another route, which is the services route. So let's go into our index. Let's copy this. Let's change this. Basically, I'm just going to copy our route for header. I'm going to change it to services and also import here services. And it's going to import it up here and use it down here. By the way, I have a extension React, this right here, ES6 React Redux React Native snippets. So if you have this installed, then everything should go smoothly and you should have your snippets. Okay, so we have our route for the services. Now we need to go back to our navigation and also link it up within here. Basically, you could just copy this link, paste it down here, change this to services and also this to services. And that should work now. Okay, if I click on services, then this is already working. Okay. Let's create our next route, about, and then contact. So let's go ahead, go into routes, create another file, about.js, create a function, change this to a capital A. Again, I'm going to copy and paste in what you need to have in here, because it's another section with some text in it. Then we're going to go to our navigation, do the same thing again. We need to have a link. It's going to be the about. So I'm going to copy this and this should be about. Okay, we have our link for the navigation. Now we need to go to our index, create another route. This is going to go to about and this should import the about route. Okay, this is imported right here. And now if we take a look at our web page, our application, our about should be also up and working. So the last thing we need to do is create our contact route, and this is basically the same. I'm going to start out from here, create a contact path. Can't import anything because we don't have the route. So route contact.js. We copy in the content, go to our navigation, create our link, replace this about the contact. Let's go back to our app. There's our app, our index. Sorry about that. Our index, and replace this with contact. And they should also import our contact route right here. Okay, so all four of them should now work. But I still want to do something, and that is in our home page, I want to be able to go to our contact page, or contact route. So let me show you how you can do this. We're going to go back into our about page, or about route. Within here, we're going to import links from our React Router DOM. Now we're going to use this link. Wait a second. Should be in my header. Sorry about that. So let's cut this out. Hit save. Back in our header. Paste this in here. Terribly sorry. And we're going to remaining within the header tag. Okay. Right underneath our paragraph tag, we're going to create a link tag now. Link. And also close this link tab up. And again, this should lead to our about route. Okay, and within here, I'm going to create a button. Didn't change this to React.js. Okay, so now it should work. Okay, button tag with the class name of btn, and within here we should have read more. And basically, this should now send us to, if we are on our home page, then this should send us to our about route. Okay, this is working. So home, and from here we're going to be sent to the about section. Okay, now let's create our sign up and our login button. Actually, let's hook them up. And I just wanted to create multiple situations. As you can see, we created from here another link to another route. And now we're actually done with our header. We can close this up. We don't need you. We don't need our index, HTML I mean. We don't need our contact, we don't need our services, we don't need our about. What we do need is our navigation, and down here in our navigation we have these two buttons. Now how can we use these buttons to actually send us to a route? Well, exactly as we did up here, we're going to wrap each button into a link tag. So let's create here a link tag. Should actually start with this link and close it up. And just going to cut the button out, paste this into the link tag. Now it has the link up functionality. We're going to send this to a route, which we don't have right now, but we're going to create one, and it's going to be called log. Actually, this is going to be sign up. Sorry about that. So this is going to be sign and up. Okay, so let's create this route. Let's go into our routes, new file, sign up.js, rfc, create our sign. And obviously, I'm just going to copy and paste everything in here. Is going to be another section tag with a form in it. Okay, a form with labels and input tags and so far and so on. Okay, let's go to our navigation. Now, don't forget that we have it hooked up here, but we need to import it in our index as a route. So again, if I would just create here a route, and the path would be now to, why aren't you closed? Come on, relax. And the path would be now to log in, sign up. Sorry about it. I just want to log in. That's all I want to do. I want to log in. So first of all is sign up, and then the element should be within here, our sign up element. Okay. And again, it was imported, but I didn't wrap it into a tag. Okay. So let's verify this, that it is working. Sign up. There's our form. And all we need now is our logging. So I'm going to move a bit quicker here. I'm going to create our route login.js, and just basically I'm just going to copy and paste everything in here what we would need. Okay, go back to our navigation, wrap the other button into a link tag, and the path for this link tag should be then, so it's going to go to / and log in. Okay, and the thing that we need to do is change this. So sign up, log in, and log in again. Okay, and this should also work now. Whoops, why aren't you working? Contact about, login. I made a boo-boo. Let me check this out. Okay, so path, login, log in. Long. There's no long, just log. Again, typos. Okay, login is also working. So we have this done. All we need to do now is, well, take care of our navigation. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, and I had here a bit of a mistake. It should the icon tag should be outside the UL, the unordered list. Okay, so this should basically now show. Let's inspect again. Not even that. Make this smaller. and this should now show the hamburger menu and make our navigation appear and disappear. Also, this is functional, so if I would navigate to home, then you can see in the background the routes are changing. Okay, so that's basically it for the project. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any kind of questions or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you're not already subscribed, then please consider doing so. I'm posting new videos on a regular basis. And don't forget to check the notification bell and check notify all, because if you don't do that, then you're going to most obviously miss when I'm posting new videos. So with this being said, thank you so much for watching. Again, the code is down in the description below. And catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.